I should have said it halfway through the pre-drinks, when we stopped for a smoke before the bar. I should have said it after my third drink, sober enough not to let it get far. I should have said it when he saw me stumble. He smiled and in a few beats had danced close. I should have said it when we were just dancing, when all that might be touching were our toes. I should have said it when he flashed his Mayfairs and I was led coquettishly outside. I should have said it when he lit my cigarette and fingers lingered, eyes brought into eyes. I should have said it when he said, let's move. I should have said it when we left the crowd. I should have said it when he made his move. I should have tried harder to think out loud. It wasn't right. Not something that I wanted. The stranger's lips before me, mumbling, pursed. I wish I'd been sober enough to stop it. I wish I'd said no, because he'd asked me first. I thought making him happy would have done it. Let it not matter, or at least not hurt. In desperation, backed up, pulled him closer till bloodstains pricked the back of my white shirt. It was the sort of kiss made against windows, when eyes are looking through to what's beyond. His mouth and tongue not searching but consuming. It couldn't have been less about anything that I might want. I didn't even say no when it ended. When he asked if I lived somewhere nearby. I didn't even say I wouldn't follow. I went to fetch my coat and not to hide. Instead of no, I tried to wash my mouth out. With water, soap, and whiskey, then with tears. It wasn't like he'd forced himself onto me. It wasn't like the fault had all been his. Somehow, I hadn't thought I could say it. Not after everything I'd done before. I drank too much and flirted. I was wanted. What I wanted didn't matter anymore. I wonder what it is about my childhood, my drunken state or narcissistic mind. I lack the confidence to ask the questions. I'm scared of all the answers I might find.
Better to walk in with your head held high, 2 wits about you, and in another room, an entourage of bald-headed bodyguards, all named Matthew. 1, 2, 3 and 4, they're usually found on the door, but today they've swapped such a noble cause and a position of authority to come bowling in behind you and back you up if they hear some sort of cacophony. Such a thing is most likely to be a barrage of profanity from a certain someone you came to see, as they rearrange your teeth for free and tell you, this one's on the house, and you better do your best, son, to say thank you through your aching, bleeding mouth. But you knew, just like anyone else, when you signed up, that these people, they don't fuck about. In any event, let's hope that don't happen. Your money, it's well spent employing your 4 Matthews, and it's not like they're being paid peanuts. If anything, it's pure cashews. Just so long as you walk in unarmed, you should leave relatively unharmed. But don't forget, the people you came to see, if you don't fit in the boot of their car, they're more than partial to chopping off an arm. Right, anyway, the meeting's at 12, so it's time to go. Make sure you've got cash to show, passport, documents, and 4 Matthews in tow. And the next thing you know, you're standing in their lobby. And a petite receptionist is squinting at you like you're a delinquent. And all you can do is stand there and say, "Excuse me, miss, I'm here for my 12:30 appointment with Student Finance England."
So these all kind of like follow the theme of mental illness, which is quite fitting because today is World Mental Illness Day. This is called The Vulture. Heavy hangs my vulture, its claws around my neck, a mile or 2 above the ground, a beak that aches to peck. Heavy hangs my vulture, its wings abreast in flight, heavy in the daytime, but heavier at night. Heavy hangs my vulture, not flinching in the wind, not noticing the saints around, but writhing in the sin. Heavy hangs my vulture, and heavy hangs the sky, heavy in the silence, and heavy with a cry. My vulture is my demon, my vulture is my friend. It tortured me to start with, but rested in the end. Its heaviness is painful, but sometimes also kind. Its heaviness can comfort me. Its heaviness is mine.
Cold fingers of the moon pierce my forehead, teasing shivers through my migraine brain, heavy as a lump of ice, and in this moment I am hungry like a cockroach scurrying around for something to feed on. I have to cross the road to avoid the chip shop because I am craving salt like a baby licking a stone. Shirking your grasp, the thought spins over and over in my head as I stare into the blown plaster, black holes in the ceiling. Is it home if you can't sleep there? In the half-dream, oh my god, my paper. In the half-dream, drunkenly swaying, lost to the scarlet fever of Neverland, licking cake batter off spoons like the child I'm trying to shrink back into being. I knit cradle tales from pink wool and sugar plum fears of stones in the stomachs of wolves, winding up my mind like a jack-in-the-box. This jolting of jigsaw pieces, bits surface. There's one that crops up again like acne, you're in it, and I am swollen with your baby. It looks like I've swallowed a beach ball, or maybe my head has shrunk and I've eaten too much. Belly distended like an apple seed has taken root. I'm full to my throat with the cloying cuteness of cupcakes, over-iced. I'm starving. This creature is eating me up from the inside, scraping me out with a spatula, a mixing bowl mess of uneatenness. Do you think you could ever love it? This blank space, this hollow of a human being, this fibbing, feeble thing like an overgrown mouse. Do you think you could love it? Pale and lank and clammy as holding hands with girls that subsist on supplements and the smell of sick in the bathroom. Love it. Taste of iron on the back of my tongue. Love it. Your fingers find themselves pressed into me, needing bruises into my ribs. I can hear my heart hammering down the door. Let me in. My arms, my mouth, my ribs, my hips are open. I am curled up, trying to keep down the eternities I have swallowed, the holes in my skin. Pores like dots to dots on my nose. I am tired of childish things. I am Heimliching myself into being again. Again, here we are in the moonlight. Will you take me home? Please. You don't have to hold me. I am slipping away down the plug hole, the cracks in the pavement, the slit by the door, under the bed. I will be gone before you wake up.
She looked at her reflection in the window. She had bags under her eyes and greasy hair. Her elbow was wet from when she tried to fool herself into drinking whiskey and spat it all over the table. She didn't like whiskey. No amount of trying was ever going to change that. Drink it, she heard. She looked into her friend's face. The cold blue eyes had no time to lose and were in no mood to be patient. She didn't know why she still called this woman her friend. They weren't friends. They'd stopped being friends a long time ago. It was better than having no one. It didn't matter. Her friend pushed a fresh glass of whiskey towards her. I can't. I don't want to, she tried. You have to. She knew her friend was right. She had to. She looked at the golden liquid, so pleased with itself and smug, sitting there in the glass mug. She took a deep breath and ignored the tidal nausea welling up in her throat, making her face as unattractive as anyone could ever imagine. She took hold of the mug's ear. She really couldn't. She let go. She tapped against it with her nails. She tapped against the table with the nails of her other hand. Her friend adjusted her dark brown fringe in the mirror. When was the last time you wrote anything? She asked, as if she was inquiring after the time. Last night, she responded. Emails asking your boss for your job bag don't count. She took another hold of the mug. She made the mistake of smelling the self-satisfied liquid. I don't like whiskey. I don't care. You can't do this by yourself. Drink it. Right. She picked up the mug. Her friend stood behind her and put her hands on her shoulders. Ooh, these are all fucked up. I know. Her friend massaged her shoulders. She did a good job. It hurt, but only in the way it was supposed to. You have to write, you have to drink, and then you have to write. No one is like us, you and me. We're better than them. And if we can't do this, then no one should. But they are. So what does that mean? I mean, why can't you? Her friend was making only sense. What do you call a friend who you've fallen spectacularly out of love with, but still see all the time because both are afraid of hurting the other's feelings? Is that what they were afraid of? No. It was probably more likely to be longing for a time she was simple enough to become friends with someone like this. Her friend was a snow globe, a tacky souvenir. Her snow globe squeezed her shoulders as a reminder of the mug in front of her. One of her hands left her shoulders and took her notebook out of her bag. I brought this for you, and your pen. Drink it. She took a final hold of the mug's ear. She took a deep breath and felt the fabric of her shirt move. She lifted the mug to her bottom lip and drained it all into her below-average size mouth. Her tongue mutinized, she hated it. The nausea reminded her of a horse kicking up its hind legs. She swallowed it. She also swallowed an excessive amount of air. Her snow globe stopped touching her. No one would ever want to touch her again after this. She coughed. She couldn't stop. Her snow globe walked through the French window doors into the bedroom. She wanted to go after her, but she couldn't stand up. She thought of how disappointed her parents must be. She stopped coughing. She stood up and walked into the bedroom. Her snow globe was lying on the bed. Good girl, she said. You can write in the morning. In the morning you'll feel better.